If someone pings me, I should be able to hear it. Or you can just scream into my ear.
I am here to scream.
In a minute.
Yeah. How's your confidence level going into this?
I mean, as long as I finish, I'm pretty confident that I'll make the free-for-all cutoff, as long as I don't, like, eat a laser or something.
Yeah. All right. Just got the thumbs up, so go ahead and begin your weapon selection.
All right, selecting my
Hello.
weapons. The first box.
All right,
Is an
there we
empty
go.
And you know,
Now you can
I
hear me.
think I'm gonna
Well,
go with it.
let me do my spiel again.
All right.
Welcome to First to Worst, wonderful H3VR competition we're doing here. My name is WitEvil3. I'll be your commentator
Thank you very
today.
much.
I am joined by the wonderful Spanners, our runner
They took a
today,
shot at me.
and also Hoyt, our moderator, making sure nothing funny is going on. Looks
Rude.
like Spanners
Don't do that.
so rudely got interrupted by a Sosig there.
That's an auspicious start.
But now we're off. Spanners making his way over to the first supply point,
That's no
I
good.
think.
Did I just talk about not getting dinged by a laser?
Nice dodging that laser. Also getting rid of it.
Don't do that.
Those irises they're called drop health pods there. Nice and helpful if you're low on health, but Spanner's just started, so he doesn't need those just yet. Sneaking up to the first supply point here in the studio.
Neat.
Donkey Konging those crates there, smashing them open on the wall with his bare hands.
Token. Okay. Getting all jittery now. Ooh. I will grab
All
a
right.
pistol.
Let's see what he goes for. A
It's
pistol.
the B350 by Big Bauer.
All right, then. I think that's the Sig Sauer something. I couldn't tell you exactly, but in 45 ACP, that's going to put a good ol' hole in a Sosig.
Let's do this. Howdy.
Sprinting over the system node, and with that, we're on to the first hold. Good use of his ears there. Listening, hearing those Sosigs behind him, so he could turn around and get rid of them before they could get rid of him. Again, got rudely interrupted by some Sosigs before quickly finishing off those static
Knife
encryptions.
at me.
Beautiful work in the first hold by Spanners right there. Now going on to the next supply room. Dodging these blisters.
So far, so good.
Very nice. Speeding along with arm swinger there. Lets you go nice and fast.
Oh,
Ooh. Got shot in the back by a Sosig.
long live the
So rude. Yes, throw them into the void Spanners. That's what they deserve.
you gotta lock in.
So mean. So mean.
Okay.
But so far, Spanners has been hitting all these headshots. Wonderful, wonderful performance so far.
Grab a 2-pointer. Ooh-wee.
Going for the semi-auto shotgun there. Got that M2 competition, I think it is. And I think that's 10 plus 1 in the chamber shells. That's going to be a wonderful load. You're going to be able to get rid of lots of Sosigs with that thing. Gotta make sure that it's off safety, so you can turn some Sosig noggins into a fine yellow mist. Got the same exact rifle there, sniper rifle. Well, I guess that means, well, you wouldn't have to get new magazines, but if you're only getting it for the sight, then that's all right.
You're sling locked. You're good. Good.
Making sure you have one in each of the chambers. Very good idea. Don't want to get caught with your pants down, so to say. Ooh, headshot, headshot, headshot. One right after another.
Number 2.
Wonderful time.
Behind. Up. Bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Stand up.
I always dislike when they spawn in those lower doors, because then they go under the train tracks. Then it's harder to get at them. But a wonderful clear of those hardened encryption nodes. This is a wonderful, wonderful performance.
Be cool. Yeah, that's a good spot.
Again from down below.
That was messy. Took a hit.
Load that shotgun right up to the top again. Now those swarm encryptions go down nice and quick. Yeah, those shotguns are really good for getting rid of those swarm encryptions. They, because they have multiple pellets, they can get rid of many of those subnodes in one shot, which is very helpful.
Nothing.
Good clear of that supply room. Making sure no one will interrupt him.
Cool. Just for safekeeping. And otherwise...
Ooh, bullet boost. That's gonna be good for some of the later encryptions. Those have health, so making sure to get the maximum amount of damage out is going to be very helpful.
Real messy.
Now onto the infamous inclinator.
Nothing.
This one has very long sight lines.
They saw me.
Very dangerous obstacles in your way, and lots of nooks and crannies that encryptions can hide away in.
Yep.
Ooh, just dodging out of the way of a sentinel there, those floating mines.
you're all down there.
Getting rid of these Sosigs. Wonderful times. Now. Ooh.
Time to go
Very
for it.
nice, very nice.
Woo!
Oh, beautiful clear of those stealth encryptions there. Those stealth ones, they very much live up to their names.
Reload, please.
Stealthy little buggers there. You need to really look out for them, which is admittedly very hard when you're
There you are.
trying not to get shot in the back.
A little bit of distortion on this scope. Get squished. Yeah. Same deal.
Nice job taking down those Sosigs.
Dude.
Now on to the swarm encryptions.
Last one.
Just missed one little subnode there. Phew. Got missed by that
Bad spot, brother.
rocketing ton of concrete. And one amendment, sorry, I misspoke. This first phase of this third hold isn't stealth encryptions, it's hardened encryptions. He was making those shots from so far away, I couldn't see him. Thought they were stealthy.
No. No. Damn it.
Ugh. That one Sosig hiding behind the rails. Ugh.
That means there's nothing to stop me from...
But he's getting rid of those Sosigs, making sure to thin out the horde so he doesn't have much trouble when he's trying to take out these recursives. That was a good takeout of that recursive with the pistol especially. Oh, beautiful, beautiful third hold there. Now, fourth supply room over at the altar.
This is not going according to plan.
Uh-oh. There's a sentinel blocking the door there, but dodging around it, jumping over pits. Wonderfully fast movement from Spanners here.
Yep.
Rip that Sosig in two. If they don't see you, no need to waste a bullet. Just rend them half from half.
Cool. There's friends coming.
Opening those crates, healing up. Now, good to go on to the next.
I don't know though.
Waiting for some Sosigs? What's going on here? Alright, let's see
Alright,
what
Anton, please.
Spanners gets. The more expensive assault rifle he goes for
This is the...
got... Ooh,
This is the lefty one.
very good. He's got that M4A1
I think I'm done.
left ways. I forget what it's called, but that's very apt for Spanners being left-handed dominant.
Over here. I'm going to do some inventory management. Just dropping things all over. I even got the banana mag. Can I please put that in my quick belt? Thank you.
At least I'm pretty sure he's left-hand dominant. That's what it looks like
This
to
in
me.
there. This on the free gun. That's lovely. What else do I want to get?
I think it's always a good idea to make sure your guns are fully reloaded when you're in a relatively safe place such as this, so that you have all your armaments ready for when you go into a hold and when it really matters.
Slot. So I'm gonna make do with the 40s. I think I got everything I need, really. See if I can grab one more piece of health up here. No dice. Okay. We ball.
And now Spanners is on his way to the 4th hold in the void.
You didn't hear nothing. You hear? Cool. Let's get to it.
Nice work there, clearing out the Sosigs, hitting that encryption node. I forget what it's called, but starting this next hold. Now these are the stealth encryptions. Ooh, that was an absolutely beautiful clear by Spanners there of those stealth encryptions. I personally always have problems with them, especially on this this hold. Those white particles coming up from the void camouflage those stealth encryptions, even when you can see them. Makes it extra hard, I think.
Gonna have to move.
But Spanners blazed through them like it was nothing.
I live here now.
Ooh, this is going beautifully. Oh,
That'll do.
perfect rotation on that polymorphic encryption there, pointing all those red nodes right at him. Not to mention the absolute skill that it takes to shoot down all those red subnodes in that small amount of time before it moves.
Not allowed to go that way. Think I'm gonna rotate this one as well.
Cleaning up
Good
your
angle.
workspace of Sosigs is always a good idea, so you're not rudely interrupted when you take out this regenerative encryption node in absolute seconds.
I'm getting in the groove now.
This is an absolute treat. Now, getting on that tram, I'm always a proponent of public transportation, especially when it allows me to blow the heads off Sosigs more efficiently.
You didn't hear nothing.
Tidying up the supply room there, getting that override token, and now let's get some new weapons.
Little Randy and pick.
Getting
one of
that more
these.
expensive grenade launcher.
And Anton, thank you so much. It even has
Yeah,
real
6 shots there. That's going to be absolutely beautiful for these for this next hold, being able to shoot
Don't really need this from
far away, get some splash damage there. That's a big advantage. Now getting some power ups, those sausages. Got another bullet boost there.
Yeah.
And a shield. Those are definitely going to help in this next hold. These encryptions, they have a lot of health that you need to chip away at, and they have a lot of sosigs coming at you that you need to be defended from. That crate felt like it needed to bounce a little bit before breaking there, but eventually got it. Got the sweet, sweet health orb inside. Dodging enemies left, right, and center.
Okay, spawn locked everything, right? Yes. It's on.
Now we're going into the turbine nice and slow, making sure we don't get shot, lose any health, lose that no-hit bonus, especially.
Yep, alright. Pick it up! Thank you.
After hitting that system node, now Spanners is on to the 5th and final hold. Clearing Sosigs with explosive ordnance. Just getting them when they spawn. Beautiful work here. Now, with this cascading encryption, that first phase does have some health, but a fully automatic rifle gets rid of it quick. And with some precise and quick aiming, Spanners dispatches that cascading encryption very, very fast.
Perfect.
I think the Sosigs might be scared. Ain't coming up to bother Spanners here.
Well, this time.
But pop that shield there. And now it's on to the orthogonal encryption, or orthogonal, depending on where you're from. Even those 11 shells from that shotgun weren't just enough, but that M4 dispatched that encryption right quick. Now we're heading into the final phase. This is a wonderful strategy we're seeing here from Spanners. Using that grenade launcher to its maximal effect. Getting rid of Sosigs almost before they can get shots off. Bullet boost. Very good plan for this next encryption here.
It's time. Right about now.
I wonder, does this bullet boost increase blast damage or just like slug damage? Oh my goodness. 2 shots from the shotgun there with bullet boost got that refractive encryption done very, very quick.
That's about right.
Absolutely wonderful run by Spanners. That was beautiful. Beautiful, I say.
All right, that's a 1-2-7.
Hello there.
5-0.
Correct.
it is going
much.
very good. I was just able to see an absolutely beautiful run be put on here.
And for the after party, let's go to the commentator booth.
How did you like it?
Huh. How's it
The
going?
Discord audio isn't being streamed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
On that.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Yeah,
So you're saying I shouldn't curse directly into the mic.
Perfect. Yeah, there we go. Now you could hear us.
Oh, phew.
Now yeah, they can hear us. You're on top of that. But
Awesome.
ask away. Do your thing.
Well, how did it feel, Spanners?
Well, this is the first to worst run I've had in a while, and it's not my first rodeo, but I sure had some jitters going on. Wasn't as clean as I had hoped. I made a few mistakes in the early holds, but by the time I hit hold 4, I was in the groove, and those went a lot better.
Yeah, those later holds were absolutely beautiful. Just getting rid of those encryptions and SOSIGs nice and quick.
And that was a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you very much for putting on that beautiful of a show for us.
Hold 4, I was in the groove.
I think that was the first GL that we've seen in the tournament, and you bought it no hesitation at the shop. Is that something you're always grabbing to take into Funbind?
Not always, but it's definitely showing up more often for me these days. Since we have the new item spawner and ammo spawner stations, and every time I roll a grenade launcher, I'm guaranteed to get something that goes boom, unlike some certain previous runs I could mention.
Yeah, because like the big problem I think a lot of people have in Turbine is the SOSIG enters the room and immediately has cover, right?
Yep.
So
And this has a lot of utility for that. I don't have to be too accurate, just do a couple of clicks and we're good to go. So the grenade launcher, if you're holding up top and you're confident that you're not going to get hit right away, a grenade launcher like this is a pretty powerful tool.
Yeah, you made me think about buying it for my run.
There you go. Even the 3-point grade launchers are pretty good if you get quick at reloading them.
Yeah, and I saw in the Turbine, you could dispatch SOSIGs before they even got a shot off.
Yeah,
So
that's one of the keys to these big holds is just keeping the whole thing locked down as best you can.
Yeah, making sure you're nice and unbothered when the encryptions come up.
Unbothered in my lane.
Is there anything you'd like to ask Spanners from the chat, from the Peanut Gallery? Go ahead and weigh in there.
Send me peanuts, please.
Omega wants to know, do you wear wigs?
I do not wear wigs.
When will you wear wigs?
I have no current plans to, unless I go bald suddenly.
Yeah, and right after this, in a couple of minutes here, we should be having Mr. King as well. So that'll be exciting. Might not be as perfect as Spanners' run there. That was some beauty, but we'll see, won't we?
Perfect. Yeah, but yeah, well, thank you everyone for joining in. Spanners, great score, and thank you, Witty, for our fantastic commentator this round. Witty's gonna be around for a while, which is wonderful. He's gonna be commentating. How many do you plan on commentating this year?
I enjoy commentating. Hopefully you all at home enjoy my commentating, so I'm going to plan on doing as many as I can. So
Perfect.
yeah, I'll hopefully see you all again.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Spanish, for once again for the fantastic run, and Whitty, our fantastic commentator, and Hoyt as our wonderful moderator. I was just sitting here watching y'all from the deep end. But yeah, everyone in chat, stick around. There's going to be one more stream right after this one. We're going to be checking out King, and yeah, that's about it.
Thank you very
Anyone else?
much.
Anyone else have anything else to say, or we good?
No, I think I was rendered rather speechless.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Well, peace out, everyone, and we'll see you right very shortly.
Peace.
Peace. And